Okay, liebe Studentinnen, liebe Studentinnen, it's time again for another grammar session for this chapter this week. This is the last week before our second Plattformwoche, and so this week, you'll just soak up the last bits of grammar, and then next week really is a time for you to apply what you've learned over these past few weeks. For the assignments that are due, and it's also a great time next week to review any vocabulary and make sure that you understood the grammar so that after next week you're ready to move forward. Okay, so bear with me. This is actually not so much. This may look like it's a lot, but actually it's not that much. So, wir fangen an mit der Datumsangabe. Ja, wann? Zum Beispiel, wann hast du Geburtstag? Yeah, so whenever you want to talk about a date, you will use the construction am and then these words. Yeah, so 1st through 31st. Am 1., am 2., am 3., am 4., am 5., am 6., am 7., am 8. und so weiter und so weiter und so weiter, am 31. So this is actually, so without really knowing it, you're learning a little bit about the dative right now. And then the en ending, that is a dative construction. So for you to keep in mind is that you need to study these. The red ones are highlighted because they are irregular, and please notice the S that is being added here. Yeah, 21. Yeah, so keep in mind that this is the only way you can express a date. And then the date, and then you can add the month. Yeah, am 1. Januar. Am 15. September. Okay? So, nächstes Thema. Trennbare Verben. Separable verbs. So separable verbs can be separated, but do not have to be separated. There are cases in which they are separated and other cases in which they are not separated, and there are rules. So for now, what you need to learn is that in the present tense, when the separable verb is the main verb of the sentence, it is separated. Sie laden die Freunde ein. Sie holen Sophia zusammen ab. Yeah, so they invite the friends, they pick up Sophia together. If you have a modal verb though, and remember from the last week, the modal verb will be conjugated and it needs to be in the second position of the sentence. Then the infinitive goes to the end, also if it is a separable verb. So here the mid-comment stays together. And please note that it looks like it may not be written as one word, but it is one word. So separable is still, if it comes together, it's still being written as one word. So Sie können am Samstag mitkommen. So können is the conjugated verb on the second position, and the mitkommen here is the infinitive. Remember the sentence bracket, die Satzklammer from last session. So in your vocabulary list, you find a lot of separable verbs, and those include abholen, anfangen, anrufen, einladen, einsammeln, mitbringen, mitkommen. So these are the conjugated ones on the second position. You could, if you were to say, ich lade die Freunde ein. Ich hole Sophia ab. Okay, so this is where it changes. This is where it's being conjugated. So, nächstes Thema, Präteritum, haben und sein. So far we have focused on the present tense, yeah, that's die Gegenwartsform, so what is happening now. The Präteritum is one past tense. Haben and sein are the most commonly used verbs in the simple past, in the Präteritum. And you will later on learn that Präteritum actually is a little bit more formal, and it is mostly used in writing, whereas another past tense, the perfect, present perfect, is actually more commonly used in colloquial and spoken German. However, even in colloquial and spoken German, haben and sein, when you want to express the past tense of those, the Präteritum will be the go-to past tense, okay? So what you need to do is you need to study these conjugations. Ich hatte, du hattest, er, sie, es hatte, wir hatten, ihr hattet, sie hatten, sie hatten. Und ich war, du warst, er, sie, es war, wir waren, ihr wart, sie waren, sie waren. Und zum Schluss ein bisschen mehr zum Akkusativ. So you already learned about the Akkusativ. What we're learning now is, for one, Personalpronomen, personal pronouns. Here you have the list. Yeah, so for instance, you would say, ich sehe dich, I see you. Ich sehe dich. You could say, Stefan, ich sehe dich. Yeah, Stefan, I see you. Ich sehe Stefan, I see Stefan. Ich sehe ihn. Ja, er, ihn. Ich sehe ihn. Ich sehe uns. Ich sehe euch. Yeah, so when you want to replace the noun, which is the direct object in a sentence, the Akkusativ, with a personal pronoun, this is what you need to do. Ja, ich sehe mich, I see me. Ja, ich sehe mich im Spiegel. I see myself in the mirror. Ich sehe dich, ich sehe ihn, ich sehe es, ich sehe sie und so weiter und so weiter. Please let me know if you have questions about this. And then also, prepositions play a big role in identifying which case the noun needs to be in. So für is a preposition that always requires the Akkusativ. So you know that if there is a für, you need the Akkusativ. So this is how you ask in the Akkusativ. Yeah? For whom, this is actually in English, it's stated, for whom ist das Wasser? Für wen? Okay, the N always indicates the Akkusativ because later on you will learn the dative, and the dative usually comes with an M, like we already had at top. Yeah, am ersten. Yeah, so the dative would be wem, but here we have für wen. So for you needs to be a signal for Akkusativ. And here we see it too. Das Wasser ist für den Hund. Ja, den Hund ist Akkusativ. Or you could now also use the pronoun if you already know what you're talking about. You know you're talking about the dog. Ja, der Hund. Das Wasser ist für den Hund. So you can say, das Wasser ist für ihn. Just simply replacing ihn mit den Hund. Okay, so this lesson is Präposition für goes with Akkusativ. Please let me know if you have any questions. Ich wünsche Ihnen ganz viel Erfolg.